guys! So, you guys keep on asking me my story with Tourette's and tics, so I'm going to tell you about that, since a lot of people get confused because they see old videos of me from when I was little and they're like, oh, you're not really ticking there, so I'm going to explain that shiz. I've already explained this a lot. Oh my god, I look like a rat. I already explained this a lot to people and on TikTok and stuff, but still people attack me. So I'm going to explain it best I can here, but I'm very, very bad at explaining things, okay? Okay. Fuck off! I'm having a moment, bro. Fuck off. So, my tics started, well, they've been there my whole life. I think anyway, like the earliest I can remember is when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I used to keep my sister up at night by going pretty much I just go when I was really tired or when I was sick or if I didn't feel well or if I was anxious. It wasn't bad tics. Tics weren't really a big deal in my family. Fuck off. Because my dad's got tics and my older brother and younger brother have tics. But they haven't got it really bad and they haven't got Tourette's. They've got just kind of like minor, maybe anxiety tics, I'm not sure. Just some form of tics. They haven't, my little brother's just been diagnosed with tics. My dad's, I think, same diagnosed with tics, but not, they haven't said what, like, type of tics. I know there's a lot of different types. They started when I was like 5 years old, I think. And then when I turned about 12, 13, I started getting one where I, was it 12, 13? And I used to have that one a bit more frequently. So I used to go, just out of nowhere. A lot of people say like, what's wrong with you? But also a lot of people didn't notice that tick, which is good. Because it was a very minor tick. It wasn't very like out there, obviously. Fuck off! Sorry. It wasn't very out there compared to my tics now. And then when I turned 13, 14, about the time I was pulled out, fuck off! About the time I got pulled out of school because of my medical issues. Bitch. Wow! By the time I got pulled out of school because of my medical issues, well, I didn't get pulled out of school. I got told by my school, we cannot handle your medical issues. Please leave. They pretty much told me I had to leave because they can't handle my medical issues, and I was only there for 3 weeks. They're shit. When I left, they started telling everyone I was a bad influence. Like, I was in a wheelchair. Around that time, I started getting a tic. In fact, when I was in school as well, but not very majorly, only really when I was cold. I don't know if this is a thing with people with Tourette's, but when I get told, I get a screaming tic, like what I had at the beginning of this video. If you saw it, I kind of like, I could feel it coming, which is why I stood there for like, it was like that. Like, I could feel it coming. I hate it when I can feel them coming. Like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a sneeze, you know, when you like the rush of a sneeze coming, you're like, oh, I'm gonna sneeze, waiting for it. But then sometimes it don't happen, and sometimes that happens with tics. But the thing is, it's like a painful feeling on your spine, and you just want it to yeet, but it doesn't yeet, and it's not great. Most people's tics get better over time, but mine are getting worse over time. Fuck off! And then, obviously, I had the screaming tic, and then I started having the... Is that how I do it? That noise. That one. And I think moving my head a little bit. Not like major ones, but like little ones. No, I was like in a kind of like fucked up relationship. And I feel like my tics got a lot worse when I was in that relationship because I was anxious all the time. You gave me major anxiety, mate. Major anxiety. It started getting worse and worse whilst I was in that relationship. So we broke up, and then I started hanging out with Ryan, my current boyfriend, but I refused to date him for a year. He was asking me out for a year, and I said no, because I was like, no, I'm not getting into another relationship, the fuck, I just got out of one. Also, I was like really insecure and scared to get with anyone, and I didn't want to get attached, and I was already attached, but I didn't know this. And my tics started getting worse and worse. Ever since I've known Ryan, I've known him for a couple of years, and I've always had tics. Since I've known him, who just messaged me? Since I've known him, I've had tics, but they were never bad. And he knows I have tics. Like, he's always known I have tics, so it's just normal for us. So as my tics got worse and worse, it was kind of like our relationship was developing with my tics, if that makes sense. So it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't like a drastic change because he was getting used to it because it was happening gradually over time whilst we were getting closer, I guess. He was the only one that really saw my tics because I didn't leave the house, like, ever. Like, I have not left the house in ages unless I'm with him. Because I'm anxious, especially because of my tics. So they were just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then I started developing vocal ones, I think. No, I started developing really, really violent ones. And then I started developing, wow, the vocal wow. The wow, I think, was my first vocal one. Like, obviously I had vocal tics that is a vocal tic. Like, me screaming is a vocal tic. But I mean, like, word tics. Like, actual sentences coming out of my mouth. Oh, this is a new tic, by the way, and I hate it. It's like, I shake my arms really hard and it go like that, and I hate it because I've got a bad arm and it hurts. Fuck off. Like, I started saying wow all the time and everyone used to get so mad at me for it. About 2 years ago, I think now, I was in a college for, like, kids who had medical issues or just, like, issues like autism really bad and, like, really bad anxiety. It's just a college for kids with, like, extra needs called We Special. I was there because of my medical problems. And then my tics were quite bad there. That was when they started getting worse and worse, and I think that was because I was dating my ex at that time. What was I saying? The kids at my medical college were kind of fine with my tics. But that's because they were used to them because they'd see me every day. And then Corona happened. Cheers, Corona. And I had my wow tic, obviously. What other tics did I have? I had my wow tic, my violent tics, my constant noises. That one. I also have one where I go and, like, roll my eyes back, like, jolt my neck, and it hurts. At the beginning of lockdown, my tics just got drastically worse, I think, because of the stress of being in lockdown. Actually, I think it was just before lockdown. Like, just only, like, March. I think it was March. March 2020. I think it was just before March, I think. My tics got drastically worse and more constant. My swearing tics, I don't even know when I developed them. They just kind of happened one day and I was like, oh, okay. I think I was making a video saying, like, everyone was like, do you have swearing tics? And I was like, no, I don't have swearing tics. And then I had a swearing tic. And I was like, but that was like ages ago. So I was like, oh shit, I can't post that because I just said that I've said in so many videos I don't have swearing tics. So how can I say I don't have swearing tics and then also have swearing tics? Like, that's going to confuse people. So I didn't post it, especially because I got a lot of kids watching my videos and I have zero confidence. I think it was the F off tic or bitch tic I had. I can't remember. I think it was the F off one. And then it just got very, very constant. Like, wow, whoa. Very, very constant. And I just kept on developing new tics from there. And it ain't stopped. Why do I look like a rat today? It ain't stopped. It's still happening. It's like, well, I've got that tic. And I don't think it's going to stop happening. I might be getting medication for Tourette's, which is good. Because I was talking to my doctor and, like, my mum was saying how I always hurt myself. Like, I slice my hand open. Like, I have, like, a can and then I just go and then slice my hand open. Or hot water, trying to make a drink or something, and then all of a sudden, chaos. Ain't great. I get, like, impulse tics where if I see something dangerous, I would, like, tick impulsively and do, like, touch it. But I know I'm about to do it, so I'm trying not to do it. But then it's like, I do it. Like if my boyfriend's getting something out the oven, I'll go on the flame and just hold my hand there without me even like it's like I'm in a trance. It's horrible. I hate it. I know a lot of people get that as well. It's called impulsions, but my impulsions are kind of linked to my Tourette's because obviously I have OCD and ADHD, and OCD and ADHD are a part of Tourette's. And when you have OCD, people think it's just being clean, but it's not just being clean. It's impulsions. You get an impulse to be clean, or you get an impulse to do stuff. You can't help it. I get that, obviously, because I have OCD. But my impulsions from my OCD, is it compulsions or impulsions? One of them. They like work together with my tics and make like this weird like alienoid creature, which is called an impulse tic, and I get hurt. And people around me get hurt. I also get them to bite people, which is a bit not good. Ah! Oop. So, yeah. It happened quite drastically over time. Like, obviously I've had them ever since I was little, but just not as bad. So a lot of people never really notice them. Unless you're really, really close to me and like, I know some days I could go without ticking when I was younger. Because that's normal. A lot of people with minor tic disorders can go days without ticking. Like my dad and my brothers don't really tic unless they're really anxious or if they're thinking about it because I'm ticking and it's making them tick because I trigger their tics. But people with tics can go days without ticking if they've got just minor tics. Like they can have really good days and really bad days. And I still have good and bad days. It's just my good days don't consist of me having no tics. It just consists of my tics being less loud, violent, etc, etc. I keep on also getting this thing where I will pass out randomly, or I'll be standing there and my vision just kind of goes black and then I just go and fall on my head and it hurts. And that started happening by the time, right around the time my tics started getting bad. So I think it may be linked, I don't know. It usually happens when I'm in the kitchen. And when I'm in the kitchen, my tics are worse because there's so many dangerous shit around me and my impulsions go crazy. Like, so my tics are worse in the kitchen. And when my tics are worse, I get dizzy as shit. So I think that could be related. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Someone told me it could be something called like paralyzing tics, paralystic. I don't know. Fancy words that I can't say. I don't know. Let me know what other videos you guys want me to make. I really hope this made sense. It probably didn't, and I'm probably just rambling, but it will. I tried. That's all that matters. Okay, goodbye. Mwah!